An anthology about the bad, the short-lived, and the forgotten shows and events in television history. This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Punisher! Control!
Hey, before I change my mind!
I give you Super Train.
Greg, Chico, our listeners, we've been waiting for over a year to get this done. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it last year due to COVID. And it gives me great pleasure to say, let the games begin!
Episode 180. Submission number 004. The Olympics Triplecast. The Olympics Triplecast was an experimental broadcast created by NBC and Cablevision for pay-per-view during the summer of 1992 in the coverage of the Barcelona Olympic Games that year. My friends, in 4 days' time, the eyes of the televised world will be upon Tokyo, Japan, as we welcome in the 2020 Olympic Games that were supposed to happen last year, but didn't. Y'all know why. And of course, NBC, with its sister stations in cooperation with its streaming outlet Peacock, will offer complete and total access of all of the games coverage, everything the Olympics has to offer, from bios of our favorite athletes to actual sport. But it wasn't NBC's first try with total access of the Olympic Games, wasn't it?
No.
No, it was not.
No, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. To tell the story, we have to go back to December of 1988. When NBC agreed to pay $401 million for the broadcasting rights to the Olympics in Barcelona. Now, this was 1988, so they were still on that Bill Cosby money.
Yeah, because remember, NBC had the Summer Olympics in 88.
And, anybody could just broadcast the Olympics from sunup to sundown, like today's show, live from Barcelona, The Tonight Show live from Barcelona, primetime coverage of tape-delayed events, highlights. Anybody could do that. But Dick Ebersol, y'all know who Dick Ebersol is, right?
Yeah, we talked about him in a previous episode, back in episode 97. And believe me, according to Al Franken, he doesn't know Dick.
Yeah, don't set Greg off talking about Dick Ebersol.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we also did talk about him in the XFL 2001 way back when. Oh, and we also talked about his kid in the AAF episode.
So yeah, Dick Ebersol is not a stranger to this podcast. He's also not a stranger to having grand ideas. This might rank above his worst.
Oh.
In retrospect.
Oh, man.
This is going to go on Dick Ebersol's tombstone when he dies.
Well, not necessarily his entirely, because there was another mind behind this.
Oh?
But somebody had to say, yes, sir. Okay, sir. Whatever you say, sir. I'll do it. Here's Texas with a $sign. I'll do this. But yeah, the idea was this. A pay-per-view venture, and this is from the New York Times in 1992. A pay-per-view venture with Cablevision Systems of Long Island that would provide 15 days of round-the-clock coverage, but more importantly, would help to recoup the $100 million NBC was certain to lose from its inflated bid. And the idea came from the mind of Chuck Dolan, who was, at the time, chairman of Cablevision and partner with NBC in the Sports Channel regional sports networks, who would go on to become the Fox Sports regional sports networks, who are now the Bally Sports regional networks, and also Bravo and AMC. This is back before AMC became the network known for The Walking Dead and Kevin Can Go himself.
And Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah, and Mad Men.
And Mad Men. Yeah, how could you forget Mad Men?
It's easy to forget Mad Men when it's on like 15 times a day. I mean, come on.
Well, you also know what Charles Dolan is best known for.
He created HBO.
Yes, but that's not where it was going.
Beyond that, I know where Greg's going.
Well, where is Greg going? Because I am lost.
He is the father of James Dolan.
Horrible sports team owner James Dolan.
Oh, that guy.
One of multiple horrible sports team owners with the last name Dolan. Must run in the family.
Yeah, it's like, I think of horrible sports team owners whose last names begin with D, and Tom Dundon comes to mind.
Well, let's be honest. In terms of this city, James Dolan is not even the worst.
At least James Dolan hasn't sold baby powder that causes cancer.
Oh. So, aside from all of that, Chuck Dolan's idea was round-the-clock Olympic coverage. If it works, it offsets the cost that NBC paid to get the games, and they could do it again in 4 years when the Olympics come home to Atlanta. The Barcelona games were already billed as one of the biggest, if not the biggest games ever, with the arrival of NBA professionals.
Oh, yeah, this was the Dream Team Olympics.
And that bastard Christian Laettner.
Yeah, you got to remember, this is the Dream Team Olympics because the U.S. only got bronze in 1988, and the U.S. has to win at everything. Just keeping it real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell that to the Athens 2004 squad. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Manu Ginobili just owning the court at Olympics.
And what was the point of having NBA players play on the world stage? To grow the game. Some would argue that that plan worked a little too well.
Yeah, that's very true, especially given today's game.
Bogut, Nick Batum, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Dirk Nowitzki.
I mean, you can just look at the finals now. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, thanks. I was wondering how they pronounce that name.
Everyone just pronounces it Giannis. They never bother with his last name.
I'm sorry I care about his last name.
You know what, Mike? You're a better man than I am.
I try my best.
The only time I ever hear his last name actually said is Kevin Harlan in 2K.
That's because Kevin Harlan is boss.
Well, that is true.
Kevin Harlan is the man, yeah.
Okay. So this is how you're going to get all the people watching the Olympics, and more importantly, how you're going to get all the people to pay for watching the Olympics. The deal is, Cablevision splits 50-50 profit margin with NBC. NBC has no cap on their losses. Cablevision would cover up to $100 million for the pay-per-view and the network. So NBC has nothing to lose at this point. Cablevision has $50 million to lose. And NBC is going to be like, okay, we have nothing to lose at this point, and they want to partner with us. We don't have to blow them out of the water. Okay. And so Dolan and president of NBC, Robert Wright, did the deal. And they thought it was going to be this big thing. And if it worked, they could do it again and again and again and continue to make bank off of it. But holy cow, look at the prices. Greg, I'm going to have to ask you to bring the currency converter online, if you would, please. Because they have, for the bronze package, which is just 1 week of coverage.
So this is inflation calculator in 2021 money?
Yes.
Okay.
So the bronze package, which would be the first week or weekends, would be $95 in 1992.
Okay. It would cost today in 2021 $183.97.
Wow. For the silver package, you'd get all 15 days, and that costs $125.
Okay, $125 in 2021 money from 1982 is $242.07.
And for the gold package, you get all 15 days, you get a set of Olympic pins, including the Olympic Triplecast pin, which I am looking at on eBay right now. We're not going to bid on it later, so... And a remote control equipped with red, white, and blue buttons so you can control what coverage you get to see.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, that's so stupid.
Only the entirety of it, Mike.
So how much was it for this?
For the gold package, $170 in 1992.
$329.21 today.
Oh, geez, that's like 3 months of cable. What the heck?
Yeah, that's not counting internet and digital phone in my house. So,
wonder how much that remote costs today, because sadly I didn't see it on eBay.
Oh, nuts. And of course, NBC would have the might of its broadcast outlets to, push hard for all of this. This is one of the spots that aired, and it comes to us courtesy of the TV Madman channel on YouTube. Here it is.
Only one place you can see every minute of every game of the U.S. Olympic basketball team live. The dream team of Jordan, Bird, Ewing, Robinson, Pippen, Drexler, Mullen, Barkley, Stockton, Malone, and Magic. How? Order the Olympics Triplecast. You get 3 channels running simultaneously, 24 hours a day. All your favorite Olympic events with absolutely no interruptions. All for only $29.95 a day. Order now and get all 15 days for only $125. That's less than $9 a day. Call 1-800-OLYMPIC to order. It's like being courtside for 8 All-Star games, and there's only one way to see every minute of every game live. The Olympics Triplecast. Call 1-800-OLYMPIC for the Dream Team. The Olympics Triplecast. The only way to see every spectacular minute of these historic games. The Olympics Triplecast. Call 1-800-OLYMPIC. Order now.
I love they show everybody dunking, and then John Stockton, who I don't think even had a dunk in his career, he's just there. And they didn't mention Christian Laettner either. I know
that
Chico.
Bastard Christian Laettner.
Well, I know Chico. Right. I know, but the thing is, I totally realize, saying his name is like saying Voldemort.
But he was like the best college basketball player in the country in 1992. He was the first guy to be in the Final Four 4 straight years. So he was more than deserving to be on the team.
Apparently, Greg forgot about Bill Walton when he originally did this episode 3 years ago. Great job, Greg.
Yes.
Shaq would have brought you better ratings, though, just saying.
In retrospect, yes.
Yes. And he wouldn't have stepped on anybody's chest, just saying.
And he wouldn't have been a bastard from Duke.
Again, that's my sister-in-law's alma mater you're talking about. So.
That's also Chico's natural enemy. So I know where my favoritism lies. I don't have to deal with your sister-in-law.
I'll just say right now, I have nothing but the utmost respect for your sister-in-law, Greg.
Yes, she's a doctor, for crying out loud.
Exactly. I get what she's going through. I'm going through it.
Well, the thing is, we'll never see your sister-in-law. Me and Chico won't.
Oh,
I have to see Chico
will.
every week.
You probably will one day if we ever have a live show in person with the 3 of us.
And why can't this happen, people? Why can't this happen?
Well, hopefully conventions start opening up one day.
Anywho.
Who cares? We're not here to talk about Christian Laettner.
Well, apparently, remember, this was NBC trying their best, and that was apparently their best.
And I love how he said NBC try their best, and Mike takes a giant drink from his thermos. Like, oh, I'm gonna be talking about this crap.
Like, I can't sell the Olympics on Fu Ming Sha.
We can't sell the Olympics on freaking horse equestrian riding on NBC. We have to put it on pay-per-view. We're sure everybody's going to love this.
Have you ever been to Barcelona? It's nothing but beachfront property, y'all.
Yes.
What do, give me something to work with. Okay. You have all the NBA tapes, right? Yeah. Just put together a minute of dunking.
Just a minute of dunking.
That's a minute of dunking.
Put footage of Patrick Ewing and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen dunking. Everyone's going to love it.
Yeah, we can't get a picture of Christian Laettner because I believe CBS still owns the package for the NCAA. That's okay. Nobody's going to remember him.
CBS is going to sue us. Freaking Jim Nance is going to be on our ass.
And please, let's remember, there were no name, image, and likeness issues back in 1992.
No, there were not. And again, before 1992, Team USA was the best college players in the country.
Yeah, they were.
So this is what they sold the Olympics on. They sold the Olympics on the prospect of watching 8 All-Star games.
Well, I wouldn't say 8 All-Star games, especially when one team in each of those games is head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah.
Need I remind you about what the Dream Team did to Angola?
Oh, God. Were people lining up to watch all the basketball, all the diving, all the boxing, but mostly let's talk about the basketball? No, they weren't. But we can explain at least what the Triplecast actually consisted of. There were 3 channels: red, white, and blue. Red channel featured team sports such as basketball, baseball, volleyball, water polo, and team handball. And I don't know about y'all, but I could watch the hell out of some team handball. The white channel featured individual sports like gymnastics, boxing, rowing, and equestrian, and other Olympic sports. The stuff that you'd see on the Olympic channel right now. The blue channel featured swimming events during the first week and track and field during the second week. And again, this is a little big risk, a little big reward. The crew at NBC and Cablevision pulled out all the stops. NBC had calling basketball. Are you ready for this? The legendary Chick Hearn.
Wow! For the Triplecast?
For the Triplecast, yes.
Whoa.
Whoa!
And that's not all. Because if you call now and promise to tell a friend about it, help us get some word-of-mouth advertising, you will get, at no additional charge, Vin Scully calling baseball.
Olympic baseball or just
Vin
MLB?
Scully calling Olympic baseball.
Eh?
Yes?
I'm just, that doesn't seem terribly, Vince Scully's a legend, don't get me wrong, but in 1992, you would have had, just college players.
Who cares? Who cares? $95 to hear Vince Scully call Olympic baseball. I'm sold.
It's your money.
True.
I've spent worse money on ridiculous things.
We know.
You've seen my DVD collection.
I've totally seen your DVD collection. I've also seen your Funko Pop collection. Frankly, I'm in awe.
Yeah. What guy would have a Funko Pop of Sting in the green face paint?
I can't think of anybody.
You can't see it, but I made the Sting WCW hotline face.
Oh, no.
Well, guys, speaking of the Olympic baseball with Vince Scully, hey, if you ordered the Triplecast, you could hear Vince Scully call these future major leaguers on the U.S. Olympic baseball roster. Do you want to hear some of these names?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
Okay. You got Nomar Garcia-Parra.
No
ma. You got Jeffrey Hammonds.
He was good with the Orioles back in the day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was. He was always a go-to in All-Star Baseball 2005 for me on the Xbox. Whenever I started an expansion team, he was always the first outfielder I'd choose. Okay, Michael Tucker.
Good quality Royals outfielder, yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Giambi.
Oh, yeah.
Future Hall of Famer, Jason Giambi.
Oh, I wish.
And Cleveland legend for the one season he was here back in like 2013.
Oh, he was awesome for you guys in 2013.
Oh, he was so clutch.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Nevin.
Yeah, first pick overall, I believe in 92. So yeah, he was he was a thing.
Future Yankees middle reliever Ron Valone.
Another good pitcher back in the 90s and 2000s. Yeah.
Oh, here's a notable name. Jason Varitek.
Yeah, good catcher. Good catcher with the Red Sox. Yeah.
Here's another good catcher. Charles Johnson.
Oh, he was my favorite with the Marlins back in the day. That's great.
Yeah, I think I have a Charles Johnson jersey card from like Upper Deco 2 when he was with the White Sox.
Yeah, and actually there's some other names I want to add, not as popular, but still noteworthy, I think.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Well, there's a couple, but the first one you know where I'm going with this is Calvin Murray, who would have been with the Giants at that time. Didn't have much of a major league career. What you would best know Calvin Murray for is he is Kyler Murray's uncle, Arizona Cardinals quarterback and former Heisman Trophy winner. And also, if you've seen the video of Randy Johnson pitching during spring training and hitting that bird.
Oh, boy.
Calvin Murray was at plate at the time. He was the batter.
He had a ringside view of Randy Johnson throwing a fastball and killing a bird.
Absolutely. He is part of one of the most epic baseball videos of all time. And also some other names I just want to throw out there really fast. Rick Helling was a good pitcher back in the day. Back in the 90s, he was a very good starter for the Rangers. You also had Darren Dreifert, who was with the Dodgers, a decent pitcher back in the aughts. But also, you had a name that was really familiar to me because he was a first-round pick of the Indians. I believe it was 1993, was Darren Kirkright. And if you've never heard of him, don't blame you. He fizzled out. He did not make the majors. But it was just a name that rang a bell to me.
Okay.
But I also want to throw out two more names from people on other teams. We had the Cuban team there, and actually two names on the Cuban team that caught my eye. One was Osvaldo Fernandez.
Yes.
And this one, I don't believe he made the major leagues, but he's known for a little bit more than that. Talking about Lourdes Gurriel Sr., and the name may sound familiar because one of his sons currently plays for Houston, Yulieski Gurriel, and two of his sons also play Major League Baseball. You have Lourdes Gurriel Jr. playing for Toronto, and you had Yulieski Gurriel, who played with the Phillies.
Wow.
He's produced three kids who went to the majors.
Oh, hold on, Mike. You did mention the most notable player on that Cuban roster.
Who's that?
El Duque, Orlando Hernandez.
Oh, I totally forgot him. But yeah, Orlando Hernandez, definitely somebody you'd know because he pitched for New York for a while.
Yeah, he pitched on the Yankees, and he was with the Mets in 06.
Absolutely. So you did have a number of major leaguers, maybe no Hall of Fame names. I mean, maybe Nomar eventually, and Giambi. Yeah.
With the steroids, probably not.
Yeah, I was going to say his numbers say yes, but he was involved in the steroids, so he's probably a no.
But he was a very popular player wherever he was at.
Oh, absolutely. And same with Veritek. Veritek is probably nothing short of a legend in Boston. He was a great catcher. I think he was the catcher on the 04 championship team.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so a longtime Red Sox player. And also, again, as I said, Charles Johnson, great player in his own right. And he would have won a ring with the Marlins at least in 1997. I don't know if he was with the team in 2003, though, when they won that World Series. I don't think so.
No, he was long gone, I think, by 03.
Yeah. But, yeah, a lot of quality players and the
two Darrens.
And the two Darrens, okay. not much there.
Okay, guys. Now, there was this one notable news clip that I found on YouTube of a guy watching the Olympic Triplecast who actually ordered the thing and gave his thoughts about it. Said he want to see what somebody who ordered the Triplecast in 1992 thought about it.
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, let's hear it.
Did he get its $125 worth? Let's find out.
I want to see this. Let's take a look.
For $125, I probably couldn't even get my car tuned and get out of town.
Their great veteran, 33-year-old Steve Timmons.
Benny Birdwell is going to Barcelona by way of cable. He's just one of a handful in the Brazos Valley watching the Triplecast. 3 channels of pay-per-view Olympics for 2 full weeks. And Birdwell scheduled his vacation around the broadcast.
It's rain, and that's actually in the rule book.
I'm not that much of an equestrian fan. I'm not that big a volleyball fan. Yeah, I know I'm going to want to watch a lot of track and field because I've never gotten to see, events that you just never get to see, like the discus or the shot put. The first day when it came on, I thought, well, Dream Team, 4:30 in the morning, I'm going to get up. So I set it, alarms and everything, and got all up to watch the Dream Team. Turned out it was Lithuania and Spain or something.
And with that first experience, Birdwell's found he has to be more selective in his viewing of the Triplecast. So now he spends his time searching for gold.
What a lot of guts to stay in there. The first 150, and Nolan Lee's right there with you. You can see them both coming home, stroke for stroke.
There's a new world record for Lin Lee.
But
The United States will take the silver.
yeah, it looks like volleyball.
Now, since Randy is one of the few to participate in the Triplecast, how does he score the competition?
I thought there might be a few more people in town doing it full time. Maybe that's why it's just me here and they're over at their house. I wouldn't recommend it to everybody else, but I had the time.
Okay, that actually reminds me of a story that Kiesel was just telling me. And her college roommate at the time wanted very badly to have the Olympic Triplecast in her house. She was actually a Florida native, and she wanted the Triplecast in her house, and her parents basically gave her the choice, okay, you could go back to school, or you can have the Olympics Triplecast in the house. Suffice it to say, she was very angry.
Aww.
But judging by the clip that we just saw, I say she was not missing much.
No.
Unless she was a big fan of Lee Lin, the swimmer that took the world record at the time.
Maybe she'll want to see Lithuania versus Spain at 4:30 in the morning.
I would want to see Lithuania against Spain in basketball at 4:30 in the morning.
I would wait until the 4:30 p.m. rerun, because at 4:30 in the morning, the only thing I want to watch are the inside of my eyeballs.
Yeah, but there were some good quality players on Lithuania and also on Spain at the time. Come on.
Oh, wait.
Do I need to mention some of these names?
Do you want to mention, let's just say Tony Kukoc.
That was Croatia, my friend.
Oh, you know who is on the team from Lithuania? Arvydas Sabonis.
Yeah, Arvydas Sabonis, because that would have been maybe a year or two before he came to America. with the Trailblazers.
And do you know who was on the team for Spain? Absolutely no one of consequence.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, they didn't have any big players until probably about 15, 20 years ago. Yeah.
Hey, would Drazen Petrovic and Tony Kukoc on Croatia or something?
Drazen Petrovic would have definitely been on Croatia. He would have died the next year.
Yeah.
And Tony Kukoc, probably, but the thing is, it gets a little wacky because that's about the time when you had the Balkans splitting up and all that.
Yeah, because, oh yeah, I forgot. This is the Olympics with the unified team.
Well, for Russia, Croatia is not part of the unified team.
Not part of the unified team, no. But I mean, the unified team.
Lithuania is also not part of the unified team.
Yeah, I get that, but Russia is basically, the unified team is basically the former Soviet states.
Right. And also, Sarunas Maršalunas was on the Lithuanian team. Good player for the Warriors back in the day, and a Hall of Famer, just like Arvydas Sabonis.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you had quality players for that team. But those are the only names I recognize, but still, you got 2 Hall of Famers out of that, primarily for what they did in European and international basketball, but still 2 very fine players.
Okay, so that's basically what the Olympic Triplecast consists of. 3 channels, all-star talent, 24 hours a day, 0 commercials. Well, actually, not exactly 24 hours a day, because, and here's the rub. Are you guys ready for this?
Okay.
No, wait. If I'm paying $170, I better get Olympics 24/7.
Oh, you're going to get Olympics 24/7, but here's the thing. The channels aired daily from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
What?
Oh, don't say that they've repeated it the entire 12 hours.
What?
You said it, not me.
Oh!
No.
And the thing of it is, these were not NBC-produced broadcasts. These were Olympic-produced broadcasts, which nowadays is like, hey, it's the Olympics-produced broadcast, no big deal, because you see it all the time, am I right?
Well, now you do, especially with all the outlets that are available for the coverage.
Yeah, but there's nothing better than the NBC coverage, and I say that biased because my cousin's going to be doing camera work in Tokyo. He's going to be covering some of the tennis events.
Well, it's like NBC does not produce a bad-looking product. They produce it incredibly horribly, but it's not a bad-looking product.
Yeah, despite the fact that NBC still thinks it's 1972 and no one ever has heard of the internet.
Yeah, and no one's ever heard of any country besides America.
Except if your name's Usain Bolt.
Or Naomi Osaka. So, that's what the broadcast entailed. All you had to do was call up a national hotline, which you heard in the commercial. It probably doesn't work now, or it probably leads to a hotline of ill repute now, but it was 1-800-OLYMPIC. And one of the things that really hampered this enterprise was not everybody's cable service was participating. Now, I was living in South Florida at the time, and I know that Adelphia Cable, which served Homestead in South Miami, where we were living, they were participating. And Greg, you were still on Long Island, so you would be serviced by Cablevision, I'm guessing.
Actually, no, because in Long Island, where I lived in Brookhaven, in the Brookhaven town, we were the only area in Long Island that did not have Cablevision.
Really?
We had TCI.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, but I think we still had... Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you an amazing story, okay?
Right.
In the summer of 1992, me and my family, we went on a cruise to Bermuda. And guess what the TV on the cruise ship had from the satellite?
The Olympics Triplecast?
Yes, they had the Olympics Triplecast, and I watched it on the cruise.
For free.
For free. We all watched it on the cruise for that. When we got home back from Bermuda on our trip, we were like, let's go back to the ship. Let's watch the Triplecast.
I can't miss synchronized swimming, dog.
We can't miss synchronized swimming. We have to see Ed Sprague's wife do synchronized swimming. That's true.
Wait, was that an Ed Sprague reference?
Yes, a rare Ed Sprague reference on this podcast.
Whoa!
Hey, guys, you want to hear another crazy Olympic story?
I love your crazy Olympics stories. Tell me.
I once held Matt Trainor's water outside of Shea Stadium while he was signing autographs. That's right, I held Misty May's husband's Poland Spring outside of Shea Stadium once. True story.
We're really grasping at straws right now. Oh my god.
That's right.
We haven't even gotten to the tea of this podcast.
We've had an Ed Sprague reference, and we have a Matt Trainer reference on this podcast.
That is no way to be talking to Misty May's husband. Thank you very much.
Hey, I like Matt Trainer. You know what? As far as players on the Florida Marlins go, he's the Tony Shalhoub of Florida Marlins alumni.
And we all know how much you love Tony Shalhoub.
Oh, yes.
The Florida Marlins made Matt Trainor's career.
Hey, you think he was? No, he would have been like 14 at the time, waiting for the Little League World Series to start. But anyway.
No, wait, Greg, I gotta ask you a question. Does that mean that Ed Sprague is the Tony Shalhoub of the Toronto Blue Jays?
Oh my gosh.
It had to be asked, I'm sorry.
No, that was Marcus Stroman, silly.
Okay, I see what it is.
And I'm not just saying that because he's from Long Island.
No. Well, also, he's a current Met, just like Sprague was, and also they were both Blue Jays. I get it. I withdraw the question.
Okay. All right, so we talked about what all entailed the Olympics Triplecast. Now we're going to talk about NBC. Because, stop me if you've heard this one, NBC made a bit of a mistake.
What?
Yeah.
Not our NBC.
Not our NBC.
This is so unlike NBC to make mistakes.
This is not NBC in 1992. They're still airing The Cosby Show in prime time. Saved by the Bell on Saturday morning.
They're still airing Night Court, too. Let's please
They're
not
still
forget
airing
that.
Night Court. They greenlit Seinfeld, man.
They're about to have Frasier next year.
They're about to have the best years of their lives, man. How could they possibly make a mistake? Oh, okay. So, pay-per-view update, which is like an industry newsletter. They projected that the Triplecast was going to attract a ballpark figure of about 200 to 250,000 users, which was, at the time, reasonable, given the fact that it costs so much. Do you know what NBC estimated the figure to be? This is according to Time Magazine. 2 million people.
What? Were they high? 2 million people? So you're saying, like, at the time there were, probably about 80 million televisions or households with televisions. So you're saying, like, 1 in 40 was going to pony up $170 for this?
Where in 1992 are you going to find 1 in 40 households who are willing to pony up $100 or more just to watch volleyball?
That's insane.
That is crazy. So, ultimately, the Triplecast projection, not the NBC projection, but the Triplecast projection, was right around there, 200,000. But when it started, they only could get 125,000 subscribers. And I believe, Greg, I think you might have it loaded up and ready. This did not escape notice from one NBC employee.
I wonder who you're talking about.
I don't know, Greg. Who am I talking about?
Coming up here on NBC, and you say to yourself, Dave, NBC will be providing the most comprehensive broadcast coverage of the Olympics in the history of time. Why would I be interested in paying out additional funds for the pay-per-view Olympic Triplecast coverage? Well, here's why you should be considering purchasing NBC's Olympic Triplecast coverage. Watch.
Only on the Olympics Triplecast can you see over 33 hours of gymnastics. Only on the Olympics Triplecast can you see over 50 hours of swimming and diving. Only on the Olympics Triplecast can you see over 57 hours of track and field, including the marathon. Only on the Olympics Triplecast can you see 64 hours of Olympic boxing. It's the ultimate pay-per-view event. And only on the Olympics Triplecast can you see all the games of the U.S. Olympic basketball dream team. The Olympics Triplecast. It's an Olympic lover's dream.
Here, just take my money. Here, there you go. There we go. Keep on taking it. There we go. Just take all the money.
Rain all day long. My name is Floyd. My name is Floyd. My name is Money Mayweather.
Those are primarily singles, by the way. I'm not that rich.
10 of those singles, you could get 1 day of programming on the Olympics Triplecast.
Well, no, you get the equivalent of that if you spent $125. That's the catch. That's where they get you. Okay. If I want 1 day of coverage, I got to pay $29.95.
Okay, can we explain the 51-second mark why we were dying?
Yeah. Yes.
Wait, only the 51-second mark?
Play the 51-second mark again.
Okay, here we go.
Can you see all the games of the U.S. Olympic basketball dream team?
Okay, so they showed a clip in what's supposed to be the dream team of a clip of Dan Quayle playing basketball. And this is the summer of 1992 when Dan Quayle's at the height of being a national joke. Between misspelling potato and being angry about Murphy Brown.
This is one of many things that did not help George H.W. Bush's re-election campaign, by the way.
No.
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 Okay, guys. For the first segment here in the extended edition of this episode, I want to present to you this 1992 Sports Illustrated article from Norman Chad about the Triplecast.
Okay, first and foremost, before we even get into that, can I just say that Norman Chad is one of the best things to happen to poker? His coverage of the World Series of Poker with Lon McEachern for like the last, 20 years? Absolutely hilarious. And he brings insight too.
Okay, this is from the SI Vault. It's called 20 Seconds of Fury. NBC has brought us the Olympics singlecast and the Olympics triplecast. One is 3 times worse than the other. When I watch TV, I like to shop and save. So let's compare the latest viewing bargains available from Barcelona. In one corner, we have NBC's pay-per-view Olympics Triplecast, a.k.a. Oh My God, Honey, it's equestrian dressage and synchronized swimming around the clock. In the other corner, we have NBC's C for Free Summer Games Network coverage, a.k.a. the Olympics Singlecast. And the winner is NBC's telecast of the 1964 Summer Olympics from Tokyo. I was a big fan of Olympic TV coverage that year because NBC aired only 14 hours. Imagine that, only 14 hours. Heck, that's a slow afternoon for the Triplecast. Nowadays, I think we get too much. NBC's primetime coverage from Barcelona takes too long to unfold. NBC's perpetual Triplecast coverage just takes too long. Here's a quick primer for those of you who don't have time to finish this column because there is so much Olympic TV to watch. The Olympics Singlecast. Total hours being aired, 161. Cost to viewer, free. Strengths, Bob Costas. Neat music, nice coffee table and studio. Drawbacks, too many commercials, haphazard, stop and start presentation of events. The Olympics Triplecast. Total hours being aired, 1,080. Cost to viewer, $125. Strengths, no commercials. Entire events shown start to finish. Drawbacks, no commercials. Entire events shown start to finish. Now, if we review these games channel by channel, commercial by commercial, and ceremony by ceremony, yes, the opening ceremonies. For a minute there, it looked like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on Halcyon. I think we'll find that less is more is less, and Charlie Jones is more or less Charlie Jones. NBC's co-executive producer of these single-cast Olympics, ABC alums Dick Ebersol and Terry O'Neill, are putting together a Roone Arledge stamp on the coverage. Arledge's #1 rule, give the games a storybook look. Arledge's rule #2, play the Star-Spangled Banner every 10 minutes or so. Thus, each night we get an all-American fairy tale filled with athletes overcoming incredible odds to reach their Olympic dreams. Costas, who stretches his smallish frame as well as any guy on TV, thankfully has restored the luster lost by CBS's Tim McCarver Paula Zahn puppet show during this year's Winter Games to the anchor position. Unfortunately, Costas is joined by Dick Enberg and his overblown moments, which have all the rich tapestry of a beanbag chair. Conversely, NBC's Seinfeld Olympic moments have been the most brilliant TV of the summer. I remember those ads. With Costas in command, NBC is giving us a live-on-tape presentation. Everything is shown as if it were happening at that moment. So John Tesh at gymnastics. Oh, great! A John Tesh reference, folks! Might say, here's Shannon Miller's floor exercise, as we recorded it a few moments ago. Yo, John, the whole production was recorded many, many moments ago. Like we didn't hear the results on the 6 o'clock news. Tesh always works on tape. That's how he did his Tour de France telecast on CBS. That's how he does Entertainment Tonight. That's how he's doing Barcelona. Hey, I like the guy, but the only thing Tesh ever does live is cash nice paychecks. That's right. All those paychecks from Round Ball Rock. The live on tape thing would be okay, but you can't trust NBC with it. NBC likes to rearrange reality, to play games with time and troops, as it did when it recut tape to show gymnastics rivals, competing back-to-back, when in fact there were several competitors between them. If NBC Sports had covered the creation of the world, you might have discovered that on the seventh day, God didn't rest. But I'll say this, the Arledge boys do put on a pretty entertaining let's string the audience along show. As for the 88 folks nationwide, 73 of whom live in Mission Viejo, California, who ordered the Triplecast, I'm asking all of you, please seek counseling as soon as the games end. Every time I turn on the nonstop Triplecast, I swear I'm on Sports Channel West Virginia at 4 a.m. It features the worst group of announcers ever assembled on a non-TNT sports telecast. It's like being stuck in an elevator, and you can't turn the music off. It reduces the Olympics to background drone. True story, I had 3 dreams simultaneously the other night about the Triplecast, and even after I woke up, the dreams didn't end. Anyway, I'll take the single cast with all its faults over the Triplecast, with all its vaults if NBC regular coverage is, as the network likes to say, plausibly live, that its Triplecast is plausibly DOA.
Tell us how you really feel, Norman.
Well, I think, and I don't know if you guys remember this, Greg may not because he would have been like 8 years old at the time, and Chico would have been a little bit older, but the Triplecast was universally panned. I mean, $125 back in 1992 was a lot of money. I mean, that would be, and you don't need to look at inflation calculator for this, but I would guess 32 years later, $125 would probably be in the range of $275 to $300. And I really don't know how many people are Olympic super fans per se. And please do remember there was an Olympic channel on cable until not that long ago. I mean, within the last 5 years or so. There's a reason why it petered out. You know, people are excited for the Olympics every 4 years. Look at, let's say, the Winter Olympics. Everybody loves curling at the Winter Olympics. Anybody like curling outside of the Olympic Games? A little bit. I mean, it's a very regional thing, but I mean, you don't hear people clamoring saying, "Hey, I can't wait to watch the curling match on ESPN or USA or whatever network a curling match might air on nowadays."
I'm sure if you're in Canada, you see the curling all the time on TSN.
Well, I know they do show curling down here. I forget what channel. There's just so many sports channels. It may be on like CBS Sports or something like that, but I do see curling every now and then. Or maybe it's even like a Fox Sports 2 or something like that. It does show up from time to time, but again, it's not on a high tier network, so you're not going to get high tier ratings for it.
We only have an eighth of a million subscribers. NBC was looking for 2 million. So for the second week, they introduced daily packages. This is basically the equivalent of late in the life of the Virtual Boy. People are offering it for the bargain basement price of $20. And that actually happened.
Yeah, but what's the bargain basement price of the Olympic Triplecast?
The Olympic Triplecast, they discounted the single day service and weekend packages. And unfortunately, I don't have those figures on me right now. But they were deep discounts. And there was another bit of a trick, because NBC still had CNBC, and they took some time out, obviously not talking about financial matters in the evenings, to test broadcast a 3-way split screen, or I believe Scott Hansen would call it a triple box, of Triplecast channels on CNBC. But they didn't turn the audio on any of them.
Okay.
So, ultimately, that's how they got to 200,000. Okay, I'm going to have to ask for a bit of a translation here, because this is Chuck Dolan talking. And there was a bit of, and it has a bit of corporate speak. So, here's Chuck Dolan. He said, by August 6th, the public didn't find enough incremental value for the Triplecast over what they could get on NBC, and we blew it from an economic point of view.
I think the translation of that is, we screwed up. The Olympic Triplecast was a waste. We should have just kept everything on the broadcast and cable NBC stations.
Yeah, and about that, because while all this is going on, NBC and its broadcast partners were still airing the games and the highlights and all of that stuff. And the Triplecast was basically the world feed with absolutely no frills to it whatsoever. And according to some viewers, that made the NBC coverage seem schmaltzy and overproduced. And again, because all of the events of great import were on tape delay, main coverage on NBC was sort of very schmaltzy and overproduced.
Wow, this made everyone realize how awful NBC's coverage actually is.
And another thing hindering the Triplecast was, and we alluded to it as much earlier, they advertised it 24 hours a day of Olympics, but 12 of them are on repeat.
Yeah, they're sneaky that way. You got 24 hours of Olympic coverage. It's 12 hours of original coverage and then 12 hours repeated.
Yeah.
Tee-hee-hee.
Yeah. You know whose attention they got with that?
Don't say the FCC.
Not the FCC. The New York City Consumer Affairs Department. They charged NBC and Cablevision with deception in advertising. The parties settled, and NBC and Cablevision clarified the advertising. But those ads, so far as I know, do not exist on YouTube. And NBC was going to use its marketing might, but about 20 or so affiliates would not run advertising for the Triplecast because they do not want to, and this is them talking, promote competition for the mainline broadcast.
Yeah, not terribly well thought out.
Yeah. So what do you make of all of this, huh? I mean, what do you make of the Olympic Triplecast? The fact that it was overhyped, it overpromised, underdelivered, was sketchy at best, and, well, it ultimately added up to one of the biggest flops on television since, and we will cover this next year, CBS Sports 90, The Dream Season.
Oh, yeah, CBS Sports 90, The Dream Season, where you had potentially the greatest lineup in the history of sports television, and everything was a flop.
Yep. And it apparently got so bad that a cable system operator in Dallas, Representative Mark Weber, who is the president of Salmons Communications, said, "We're making a determined effort to market this, not to make a profit, but to cut our losses."
Yikes.
Yick. And the Triplecast, and this, again, going back to the New York Times article, it ignored the concept that makes pay-per-view broadcasting special. Exclusivity. Now, Greg, you've been watching WWF, WWE pay-per-views for as long as anyone I know.
Yes.
You know that the only way, of course, this was before Peacock got their grubby hands on the product.
Oh, that before they got the WWE network and everything in the US at least.
Yeah. You know that one of the main draws of like a WrestleMania or WCW Starrcade, yes, I'm old enough to remember WCW Starrcade, is that you can only get this by paying money to your cable contractor for the pay-per-view rights.
Yes, the only way, and Mean Gene Okerlund would say it every episode of WWF Superstars. You cannot watch this on television. You can only get it on a pay-per-view basis. Make that telephone call right now. He would hard sell you to call the cable company operator to order the pay-per-view.
Yep. And it worked because, again, this is one of those things that they keep doing over and over and over again. They wouldn't do it over and over and over again if it didn't work. But here you have the pay-per-view Triplecast, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 weeks, competing against NBC's mainline coverage.
And you know what's so ridiculous about this is Dick Ebersol had in the past worked with Vince McMahon on Saturday night's Main Event. So if anyone could have an idea of how pay-per-view works, it's somebody who worked with Vince.
So, not really big on the exclusivity. I can get, doing some quick math in my head here, 12 hours a day, 15 days of coverage, which would add up to 180 hours. Or I could get just 19 less hours of coverage for free on NBC.
That's a tough one.
That is a toughie. This was basically a pilot program because ABC and Showtime Event Television were going to do something similar with college football the following fall. And they never did it again after seeing this, obviously. Otherwise, hey, guess what we would be talking about?
Although ESPN did do that, or was it ABC? They did have like that pay-per-view thing where you'd have like select games on pay-per-view, I think. Well, I forget, what was it, like ESPN or ABC, like Game Plan or something?
Yes, ESPN Game Plan. Sounds familiar. So, 9 days before the opening ceremony, One Philadelphia Inquirer writer, you know what he compared it to? He said it was, and now I'm quoting, the biggest marketing disaster since New Coke.
Oh, that's bad.
That's insulting to New Coke.
And ultimately, Cablevision said they could pony up all of the losses for the Triplecast. All of the losses came up to $100 million.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And very appropriate given that Susan's Dick's wife.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You know what Susan St. James said when she saw how much money that they were going to lose on the Triplecast when Dick showed it to her?
Uh-oh. I don't even think they lost that much money doing Super Train.
Hey, you know what the reactions were from NBC executives when they saw the ratings for Super Train?
Uh-oh. Oh, no, they were, oh no.
Now, if you want to watch some of the Olympics Triplecast footage, some of it is available to watch on archive.org. There's maybe about 12, 14 hours of coverage that you can find if you search hard enough on archive.org. You got like gymnastics, you got some swimming I saw. Of course, I got it playing in the background right here. I got some stuff on the White Channel. I guess this is the one that the guy recorded it off of, whoever recorded this back in 1992. We got like some gymnastics. I don't know who this guy is that's doing the flip right here. I'm sure it's like the crappy countries that no one would ever want to watch on NBC.
I'm sure it's the crappy countries nobody wants to see on NBC. Spoiler, Greg, it's America! No, it probably isn't, but just would be kind of funny if that's how it worked out.
Oh, I see Gail Gardner's in some of the coverage in the 2-hour and 13-minute mark of this video. Oh, wow. Men's 100-meter butterfly results. P. Morales won the gold. Oh, wait, I didn't know legendary former WWF champion Pedro Morales did swimming.
Well, you have to be very limber to be a swimmer, and you also have to be very limber to be a wrestler.
Sure. Oh, what the hell is this I put at 246? Oh my god, look at these moves this guy has. That's very agile.
Also, I should clarify, the P. Morales is Pablo Morales.
Oh.
And he finished with a time of 53.32 seconds, beating Poland's Rafał Zukala by 0.03 of a second. And actually, believe it or not, talking about Pablo Morales, and speaking of Pablo Morales, he's actually the world record holder in the 100-meter butterfly at 52.84 seconds, done in 1986.
Okay, so obviously NBC didn't give up on total access to the games. We saw as much, for as big as 1992 was in Barcelona, 1996 was even bigger because the games were in Atlanta, which, by the way, was my sister's alma mater. Shout out to the Agnes Scott Scotties.
Wait, Agnes Scott Scotties? There's a college named after Montgomery Scott? I can't believe this!
No, Agnes Scott, they fielded a legendary Quiz Bowl team.
Oh, okay. I thought there's a Quiz Bowl team named after Montgomery Scott.
And I must say, I like hearing Kiesel in the background. Anytime you said Agnes Scott, hey!
I love my sister, I really do.
Yeah, we all do.
Okay.
And guess what? She knows now about Herb Abrams, so.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. The 1996 games in Atlanta, you would see all of the basketball Dream Team 2 live All of it. And you would also see, because this was the summer where the U.S. gymnastics team became America's darlings.
Oh, yeah. Bella Caroli carrying Carrie Strug. That's iconic.
Dominique Moceanu.
Dominique Dawes, Dominique Moceanu, all the other Dominiques.
All the Dominiques.
Like 7 of them. I don't know.
They probably got all the Dominiques on that team. Not
Dominica. Oh, no, never mind.
Not Dominique Wilkins, though. He probably would be playing for France. Am I right, Chico?
Yes.
And he might easily be confused for Patrick Ewing.
Oh, can you believe these guys? Okay.
Who would ever believe that? Who would ever confuse Dominique Wilkins for Patrick Ewing? I mean, come on. One's like 7 foot, one's like 6'2" and can dunk.
There you go.
Well, Dominique Wilkins was a little taller than 6'2".
Okay.
Just a little taller. Okay, so NBC would have all of the coverage all to themselves, but they would use all of their cable outlets to air other things. And CBS in 94 and 98 would team up with TNT to deliver their coverage. But, you know, the Winter Olympics are not as grand a spectacle as the Summer Olympics, obviously.
No, but the 94 and 98 Olympics had Dave's mom doing live remotes at the Olympics.
Oh, yeah, baby. This is what that CBS Westinghouse money was going toward. Oh, yeah.
Bringing Dave's mom to the Olympics. And her asking Nancy Kerrigan if she'd like some cocoa.
Would you like cocoa? Would you like a cup?
No, thanks.
All right.
Hey, you know what? I would take cocoa from David Letterman's mom.
I would have.
Okay.
If she offered me cocoa, I'd take it.
Okay, and as the Olympics got bigger, so did the NBC coverage. They farmed 2000 out to CNBC and MSNBC. They farmed the 2004 coverage to those networks, plus Bravo, USA Network, and Telemundo, because they would have been bought out by Universal at the time. They farmed it out to Universal HD and Oxygen in 2008, and in 2012, at this point, they would have bought OLN, changed it to Versus, and changed it to NBC Sports Network.
Yeah, because 2012 was the first year of NBC Sports Network. And funny enough, this year is going to be the last year of NBC Sports Network. But we'll give our in memoriam in the year in review show at the end of the year.
Yeah, moment of silence. Moment gone. Next. And also, during this time, you have the advent of the internet and NBCOlympics.com, where you could see all of the events that you wanted to see, maybe free of charge, possibly, but with absolutely no commentary.
Oh, you don't get commentary on the friggin' Argentina and Lithuania in basketball. Oh, drat.
Are you kidding? Those are two world basketball heavyweights.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Greg, Lithuania and Argentina have two really good teams. Remember, Argentina a number of years ago, I do believe they won the gold with Manu Ginobili and I think like Louis Scola and some other players.
Oh, are you Bret Hart? Who are you to doubt El Dandy to me right now?
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Jeez.
And Lithuania, oh my gosh, Lithuania had like Sarunas Marciulionis. Come on!
I'm not knocking Argentina and Lithuania. I'm just saying nobody wants to see it.
You're knocking Manu Ginobili and Sarunas Marciulionis.
Hey, in 1992, Manu Ginobili wouldn't even be playing on the Argentinian basketball team then.
No, he would have been like 16 years old.
Well, what can I say? 1992 was a different time. We didn't have like 5 billion different cable channels. We didn't have the internet. We had to settle for what we could get, and for my money, it was not much.
Hey, Chico, I just had a thought in my head.
What's that?
What if somebody watched the Olympic Triplecast on the Sega Game Gear TV tuner?
Would that even be possible?
Yeah, it has an AV output, so you could probably hook it. Did they have AV outputs on cable boxes in 1982?
I remember my cable box had an AV output, yeah.
Okay, so if you could put it in the AV output, you could probably watch
they had to get the cable to my house somehow.
Okay, so you get the AV thing, you put it into the TV tuner, plug in the Game Gear, and you can watch the Triplecast on it. What if somebody did that?
I would love to see pictures.
Let's try to steal Ed Begley's tortoise, and see if we can make that happen. Come on, Ed. Let's get in. We'll get some vegetable oil to run the tortoise, and we'll go to 1992 to watch the Olympic Triplecast on a Sega Game Gear.
Well, there you have it. NBC's first foray into expanded Olympic coverage, and truth be told, it has expanded ever since, but it's expanded in more sensible ways, and it's followed what the people demanded. The people wanted more coverage of live events. 1996 got more coverage of live events. The people wanted more women's sports. 2000, we have more women's sports. Women's track, softball, women's soccer, and it's expanded, and it sort of grew with the 24-hour media cycle. But in 1992, for $29.95 a day, you could have a commemorative pin set, you could have a commemorative remote, and you could also have this thing on TV.
Hey guys, do you want to own something commemorative from the Olympic Triplecast?
Why not?
No, I don't want to own it, but lay it on us.
Okay, here we go. You are bidding on a 1992 Barcelona official Olympics Triplecast Viewer's Guide commemorative edition.
That's right. Signed by anyone?
No.
Okay.
You are just bidding on a commemorative edition of the Triplecast Viewer's Guide, which is basically the program guide with a commemorative cover.
Yeah, you could actually get the program guide out of a TV guide. You're literally just paying for the commemorative cover.
Yes, that's all you're paying for. So, I'm going to start the bidding with Chico.
$34.99. I don't know why.
Mike?
1 cent.
Okay, you ready for the price?
Oh, no.
To quote Fred Grandy on the Chain Reaction premiere, $10! How about that?
Does it come with the remote or the pins at least?
No.
It's just the guide. Oh my god.
It's just the guide for $10. Are you freaking kidding me?
There it is.
Well, it's a nice looking guide at least. Gold embossed cover.
Yeah, it's very fancy.
What's on the inside? What's on the inside? Give us a look here. Give us a look.
Okay. There it is. The official.
That's nice.
There's a cover. There's a regular cover there. Gives you a table of contents. Gives you all the information about. Oh, look! It has an article from George Plimpton. Look at that.
So this is a bunch of pictures of Barcelona and a bunch of articles about the Olympics.
Yeah. Oh, there's got a baseball article. They got a basketball article. But, George Plimpton. Oh my God.
That's worth the $10 alone.
It is worth the $10 to get something from George Plimpton on there. That's worth having on your mantle. I'm sure we'll have that in a nice piece in the museum.
And there's the byline. Olympics Triplecast, a service of NBC and Cablevision.
Okay, folks. I found on archive.org for this extended cut for you guys the official Olympics Triplecast Viewers Guide. So I borrowed it on archive.org. So do you want to look at it together? The table of contents right here. The Passionate Spectator. Got some ancient Olympic stuff. Some of the modernized moments of the games. Oh, we got Nadia Comaneci here on, was it, page 13? Oh, look who it is on page 14. I'm Carl Lewis.
I am Carl Lewis, man. You know Carl Lewis? That's me. Carl Lewis, I'm fast. No man can beat me.
Oh, Greg Louganis on page 15. I'm sad they didn't show the moment where he had his head hit on the board.
That's terrible, Greg.
Gregory Diener.
What? Whenever people think of Greg Louganis, they think of his head hitting the diving board. Everyone.
Yeah, but you don't put that in a viewer's guide.
Well, they could have put it there. It'd be like you don't know what to expect on the triple cast.
Jeez, Greg, you're not helping matters.
Look, it's $125 of money they've wasted. They want to have something sexy for this. Oh, look, Rafer Johnson on page 23.
Get to the part where they talk about the 1904 marathon.
Oh, God.
And if you don't know that story, find it. It was a hot mess.
Oh, Bill Bradley.
Senator Bill Bradley.
Yeah, well, also former Olympian.
Yeah, played in 72, I think.
No, it had to be like 64, 68, because he was with the Knicks by 72. Okay, we got some of the track and field here. I like whatever this guy's holding right here at page 45.
That looks like a bunny.
It looks like a weird bunny.
It looks like a CalArts bunny.
Oh, well, Dan O'Brien. They don't know.
But remember, that was the big drawback in 1992, because those ads, they were really hyping the Dave versus Dan rivalry that turned out not to be anything. And speaking of Bill Bradley, it was the 1964 Olympics he was in Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo. And we got baseball. We got Jeffrey Hammonds right here. As we mentioned, the original episode was on the 92 Olympic team. And we got the basketball hyping the dream team. And look who's on page 55. We got Tony Kukoc. And we got Magic down here. Yeah, they're really hyping everything for the basketball. The women's competition. This picture is clearly from 88.
All I can say is they crawled so the likes of Asia and Diana and Caitlin could walk.
Well, Caitlin's not part of the Olympics, but I get your point. Okay, boxing. Is that Roy Jones Jr.? Because he would have had a heck of an Olympics back in 88.
Well, I see Oscar De La Hoya. No Roy Jones Jr., sadly.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, well, this guy right here on page, like, 65 kind of, sort of, almost had a Greg Louganis.
Jeez.
The equestrian racing.
Horses.
Now, like I said, the original episode, I did watch some of the triple cast on a cruise for free. And I do remember watching some of the equestrian racing on, like, the Red Channel. We got some of the gymnastics. Oh, rhythmic gymnastics, soccer. And we got swimming. Oh, Janet Evans. synchronized swimming. In tennis, we got Jennifer Capriati, and we got Jim Courier on the tennis coverage. Steffi Graf.
Michael Chang.
Michael Chang, yeah.
And if I remember correctly, I think tennis was an Olympic event for the first time in 92, maybe 88.
I do think Jennifer Capriati won the gold in that Olympics.
Oh, Jennifer Capriati was the hot thing back in the early to mid 90s.
Oh, yeah. I had a big crush on Jennifer Capriati back in the day when I was a little kid. We got a list of the Olympic gold medals. I don't know if that's like a fill-in guide or something. But yeah, that's the book. Well, I covered something we did in the original episode for eBay Price is Right. So guys, would you believe I have a new eBay Price is Right for this?
I can believe it.
All right, here we go. You are going to be bidding on an NBC vintage Olympic Triplecast jacket. Now, if you look in the chat, I did post the jacket.
Still with tags on.
Yeah. Customized Olympic Triplecast tags. Now, this is an XL. It says NBC Vintage Olympic Triplecast jacket, brand new with tags, still in the original package. So, I'm going to start the bidding with Mike.
I will say 199.
199, Chico.
250.
You both overbid.
I figured.
Go lower than 199.
99.
Chico.
69.
Nice. But you still both overbid.
Oh, geez, this is a bargain. I'll go 49.
$1.
Why'd you do that 2 turns ago?
So you said $49.99?
No, I just said 49 even.
49. It's $50. You're off by a dollar.
All right.
But yeah, that's a nice jacket.
It's like a classed up members only jacket almost.
I also found some Olympic Triplecast pins on eBay that you can find real cheap. I also found on eBay this. Now, this is a vintage press photo of Ahmad Rashad and the Olympic Triplecast goes. I see Gail Gardner right here. I think maybe that's Jim Lamprey right here. I don't know who the other woman is. But it's like $20 if you want to buy it now. Oh, here it is. Pictured left to right. Ahmad Rashad, Kathleen Sullivan, Gail Gardner. Oh, Don Criqui. Damn it. I'm ashamed I didn't recognize Don Criqui. Now I'm wondering where's Bob Trumpy?
Get out of my head. I was just going to say the same thing. You didn't recognize Don Criqui because you didn't see Bob Trumpy.
That's why. Did you know that apparently Charles Dolan couldn't even find the Triplecast on his own cable box?
Did he check past the soft porn channels? So a couple of postscripts here. Greg mentioned just now that Chuck Dolan could not find the Triplecast. He tested the ordering system and found that at one point last January, the operator did not know if his home system in Long Island, which he owns, by the way, was offering it. He just lost it when he heard that, said someone who observed Dolan's reaction. And Dolan did confirm he was on that call. And I have a bit of a postscript before we wrap things up, and this was from the Chicago Tribune.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, this is from Dick Ebersol himself.
Oh, gee. I wonder what stellar words of wisdom Dick is going to have for us.
All right, so this is what he said after all was said and done. The folks who did the marketing and the promotions never were able to strike the same chord the first day of production was able to strike. By the time that chord had struck, people had seen how effective the broadcast coverage was. Maybe when one of the networks gets the rights, it may want to sell off badminton. They won't let you do any of the major sports on pay-per-view because of the IOC charter that stipulates that telecasts in the host country must be available to the widest possible audiences, pay-per-view being out of the question.
Boy, did that change.
Yeah. And all I could say after that was, and on to Atlanta.
Yeah. Dick Ebersol's really a Bill Belichickian personality. Isn't that right, Al?
I know Dick, and I can tell you that he doesn't know Dick.
Nope. I see what you did there. You can see more of what you did there when you visit our website. It was a thing on TV.com where you can find all of our past episodes, all of our mini-sodes, all of our live shows, and of course links to all of our social feeds, including our YouTube, where if you go now, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell.
Ding, ding, ding.
In order to get updates on future content. Like, for instance, last week we put the latest installment of Into the Spidey Movieverse on our YouTube.
Yes, we did. We did put it on our YouTube channel. Since we didn't have one for this month in July, we figured, well, we put it off. We might as well finally give it to you. And also because we only had one episode a couple weeks ago. So we decided to put it as a make good.
And speaking of our friends at Place to Be Nation Pop, what do we have this week? We have Voyagers and
Larry Bud Melton. But we also have Telly Who Loves You, Baby.
That's right. That's right.
So it's a 3-episode drop on Wednesday.
Oh, and they're 3 really good episodes, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can never forget all the stellar recipes we got for Kraft. And I still want to know, if you write to that address, will they still honor the recipe book?
You know what they would probably say? They'd probably give you an index card saying, Joshua Weissman's YouTube channel is right there.
Guys.
What?
I never sent the postcard. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Well,
now we'll never know. It'll be like Wake Martindale's hotline. It'll be like the Olympic Triplecast hotline. We'll just never know.
We'll just never know. I'm sure one of those hotlines now directs you to Quest Chat.
I have a confession to make. Tonight, I'm calling Quest. I was nervous about meeting new people, but with Quest, I can laugh, flirt, and talk with the coolest people. I have so much fun every time I call. It's really easy. Pick up the phone, and just like that, you're connected to hundreds of singles right in your area. And best of all, it's free to try. Do something new tonight. Call Quest now.
Yeah,
you like
that's
that,
right,
baby?
That's right. I referenced Quest Chat from those stupid.
I'm looking for friends in the New York
from those
City
stupid
area.
buzzer commercials with those hot girls, those hot Eastern Europe.
That's why I switched to eHarmony.
That's why I watch Pluto TV. I don't see those ads.
So you don't see the. Well, your cable carrier doesn't get buzzers, so you don't get those like I do.
No, that's why I said I watch Pluto TV.
Yep.
I don't need a horny 18-year-old to talk to me.
Good night, everybody.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Next episode, guys. Next episode, we are covering something that since the beginning of this podcast, we have been dying to cover.
Yes. It's okay. Imagine if you would. You are an Olympic swimmer. You live a very Zen life, and you expose a very Zen philosophy. and you're just flying by while another Olympic swimmer gets all the power, all the glory, and you just have to ask yourself, what would Ryan Lochte do?
I'll tell you what, it would be... you know, he'd give the Olympic Triplecast, I bet, Ryan Lochte. Probably
100 million swims.
No, he'd give it 0 swims.
Oh yeah, this is a 0 swim for sure.
0 swims.
There may be negative swims involved here.
Negative 870.
No, you know what negative swims are called? Walks.
Negative 876 swims for the Olympic Triplecast.
Okay.
And Ryan Lochte probably also took off another 100 or 200 swims because he actually paid for it.
You know what? I could see 9-year-old Ryan, or however old he was back then, ordering the Triplecast, and his parents being like Tom posted this about, what?
What? Huh? No.
Well, guys, this has been a fun episode. But you know what? It's time to bring something that we haven't done in a while to close this episode out. It's time for It Was a Thing on TV Haiku Corner.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. The smoothest part of the show, by the way.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've done this again. So here we go. Oh, that soothing music.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Channeling Mike Francesa here. You know what he was said about the Olympic Triplecast? Get lost, will you? That pay-per-view garbage. Okay. Mike, are you ready for these stellar words of wisdom?
I can't wait to hear it.
Chico, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Here we go. Dickie's Triplecast. How much money can you burn? Millions and millions. Hey guys, you know what Susan St. James said when she saw the money burn? Uh-oh. We'll see you on Thursday, folks. Wow!
We'll catch men's boxing. Then Shaq and the Dream Team take on the always impressive Kuwaiti Five.
Sometimes it's fun to root for underdeveloped countries, Al.
I am feeling very Olympic today. How about you?